here we go, Muna Nation. Let's talk a little bit about that. Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that? Okay? Why? Because that's not the only thing you can say, and because sometimes you feel like, oh man, I've said that so many times that I won't even ask my question. And that's not what we want, we as teachers. That's not what we want. We want you to ask questions, pertinent questions, so that we can better help you, okay? So let's say you're stuck on that. Easy one would be pardon, pardon, pardon me, okay? A rather more sophisticated one would be, I beg your pardon. Can't you see myself doing that? I beg your pardon. All right, that is a little bit classier or rather sophisticated. Okay, you don't have to say that. You can always say what was that? Sorry, what was that? What was that? Okay. What did you say? Now, the what did you say is going to sound something like, what'd you say? What did you say? Okay, what'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say? Okay. You could say, excuse me, but be careful with excuse me, okay? Because excuse me is also like, I am offended. You could say, excuse me? Okay, then I would be rather offended. So you have to watch the intonation. You could do the, excuse me? Excuse me? Okay, now, excuse me? This means I didn't understand, but excuse me? That's not the same thing, okay? So careful with the intonation. One that I like, you could just say, sorry, I didn't catch that. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Or sorry, I didn't get that. I didn't get that, I didn't catch that, okay? Sorry, I didn't get that, all right? That's another one that I like. Let's say you couldn't hear someone because you literally couldn't hear them and you wanted them to increase the volume, okay? So you can say, could you speak up a bit? Could you speak up a bit? Okay, could you speak up a bit? Excuse me, could you speak up a bit? Okay, now you could also, maybe you want someone to slow down a little bit. So you could just say, wait a second, I'm lost. Or wait a second, I'm struggling to follow. If you say, I'm struggling to follow, it means it's difficult for me to follow you. Most people, you know, out of the goodness of their heart will say, ooh, I should slow down or find another way to say this so that my audience can hear me, can understand me, okay? You could also say, excuse me, what do you mean by ta-ta-ta-ta-ta? What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Or what do you mean by that? Okay? Now, if you really didn't understand something and really informally, you could say, this is all Greek to me. Why Greek? I don't know, because Greek is a difficult language. So this is all Greek to me. It means I did not get it, okay? You gotta go again. This is all Greek to me, okay? Another funny one, but you could be sarcastic, you know, and say, oh yeah, that was as clear as mud. But be careful when you use it, okay? Because you could also offend someone. But if you say, that was as clear as mud, mud is not clear. Mud is like water with dirt and earth, okay? So you could, when you say that was as clear as mud, it means that was not clear, okay? I did not get it. It didn't make sense, okay? All right, and another one that is also cute, you could say, wow, that went over my head. That didn't even stop to filter, you know? That went over my head. That went over my head, okay? That went over my head. Cool? So I hope you enjoyed. Got a couple of ideas of what to say. Watch the excuse me. Watch the intonation in all of these, okay? Because sometimes you can be funny. At the same time, you could be sarcastic, but depending on the situation, not a cool thing to do, okay? So like, excuse me is not the same as, excuse me, okay? Very well. Happy learning! See you for the next one. Goodbye.